how much do you think manipulative tactics will be used on social media to sway? I'm not even worried about necessarily foreign influence, just like the Twitter files. In fact, I have a quote that I want to read about the time we're living in now. This is from Eric Weinstein. Shout out to Eric, who I love dearly. I think he's an incredible human. His quote is, "We now know, post Elon Musk's $44 billion adventure at Twitter, that there are these coordinating groups coordinating social media with the intelligence community or with the Department of Homeland Security or the State Department. We now know that we're living in an orchestrated, curated, choreographed world."
We've always known that. We just haven't admitted it. And let's keep this in mind too. As much as people want to say that that's a bad thing, that social media again, social media is not media. Social media, what I mean by that is social media is not journalism. Social media is entertainment that's socially generated. It's essentially just like a jukebox, right? It's a business. We, of course, want the intelligence community, the national security infrastructure of the United States, hip and hip with American businesses, because that's how we will that's our most vulnerable place to foreign threats, is through our economics. So when you take away the fact that Facebook and Twitter are massive social voices because everybody uses them, and you just consider the fact that they're a business, it makes perfect sense that you would want a business hip and hip with the national security sector so that they can counter any foreign efforts to impact American economics. We don't think of it that way. We think of it like, no, free speech and freedom of choice, and they shouldn't have a say in what gets published and what doesn't get published. At the same time, when Russia uses Facebook to create influence campaigns, who do we blame? We blame Facebook, and we blame the intelligence infrastructure for not protecting us. Again, Americans are a warring culture, and we want to believe that we are entitled to everyone else's fucking secrets, but nobody's entitled to our secrets. And it's a dichotomy that we can't seem to fuse together, right? Either there are no secrets or there are secrets. You don't get to choose which secrets you get and which secrets you don't. If anybody gets to make that choice, it really should be a organization of institutionalized legislative, judicial, and executive powers, because we voted those powers to be in control of our secrets. If you don't like that, change your vote, right? Mm-hmm. So for sure, we will be influenced by these sectors into our social life. Absolutely. We already are. We will continue to be, and it will continue forever. It's not different from what we've seen in the past. What were hate ads on TV? What are flyers that come in the mail? What is people knocking on your door and getting you to sign petitions? All those are all forms of influence and an effort to sway public opinion and an effort to get top of mind for some politician. It's always been there. It just changed media format. It just makes us pissy that it happens by foreign actors and domestic actors on social media, because we forget the fact that social media is not fucking news. It's not journalism. It's not vetted. It's not reviewed. There's no professional criteria. It is entertainment. That's what it was always meant to be. It was always meant to be dancing babies and kitten videos and stunts on motorcycles. That's what it was meant to be. It's just turned into the fact that people don't do enough interesting shit, that now what they do instead is they forward articles that they only read the headline, and it makes them emotional. So they forward more and more of them, and people like it and thumbs up it and comment on it without actually reading the article. They just read the headline. You took time out of this interview to speak to the people before they made comments because you care about making sure that people understand what we're talking about, not just read a headline, knee-jerk reaction, create virality. That's not what we're going for. But that is what ends up happening on social media. That, going back to our conversation about covert influence, that's exactly what covert influence wants. It wants to find two existing causes that all they need is a little bit of extra gasoline, and they light up. Social media is the perfect place. Light up the left, light up the right. Light up the left, light up the right. And all of a sudden, people don't know what's true and what's false, and they're fighting against each other. I don't believe that will turn into civil war fighting. I think it takes a lot more before we start pulling guns on each other, but it does cause enough chaos and delay, and it hampers our progress enough that we will lose influence on the global stage.
Not ideal. What do you think is going to happen with AI? Because all of that feels like it gets supercharged to a level that is unimaginable when you have AI. You talk about volume. You can now put out 150,000 Trump clips a day that aren't him, but look and sound like him. And even if they're meant as parody, people will start believing them. I can't tell you the number of times I made the mistake of, actually, I don't even think I follow it, but I probably liked something at one point, the Elon Musk parody account. And I will routinely forget to check whether it's him or the parody account. And even though it's right there, I'm just like, oh shit, like I can't believe he just said that. Oh wait, it's the parody account.
Yeah.
And so I think, how often did I not notice that that was the parody account? And so when you've got, take someone like my mom, God bless her cotton socks, she won't notice that something, because I can tell when something is AI generated, it's off just enough. My mom won't.
I'm optimistic about AI. I'll be one of the few people that say it, because I think that our greatest breakthroughs are still ahead of us because of AI. I think that all of the fatalistic thinking, all the catastrophizing about AI is from our analytical overlay and what we've been conditioned to believe from videos and books and sci-fi, right? Sentient AI that determines that human beings are the worst thing for human beings, so they eradicate us. Do I believe that AI will be used for influence, for politics, for local government? Do I think it'll be abused? Absolutely, it'll be abused. Just like TV was abused, just like radio was abused, just like newspaper articles were abused. I mean, just like the internet's abused. For sure, it'll go in that way, and then it'll be regulated back, or the market will prove that it's not profitable to create that much junk, that amidst all the junk that you're creating, your real value can't shine through, so people will stop creating junk and they'll start creating more meaningful stuff. So if AI, just imagine if AI could be used to expand the reach of nonprofits trying to solve cancer, so that instead of their minimal media team creating 5 posts a week, they could create 150 posts a week. And that 150 posts turn into a 200% increase in funding for cancer research.
Yeah, I'm super pro AI. Like I am stamped on the accelerator. I love it the most.
Yep.
But I am also aware of, just based on the things we've been able to create in-house, not in the vein that I'm talking about, but you see how real it is and how quickly you can confuse people, that it's just going back to the volume velocity problem. It will be used to have a clip of Biden falling down, stumbling and sounding ridiculous. It will be used to have Trump spout crazy lies and outrageous shit. And then what I think will happen is people are going to have to end up using the blockchain as a way to watermark these so that you can prove which ones are legit, not legit. And so the old thing, I'm Tom Bilyeu and I approve this message kind of thing at the end will be replaced with, that's really just their mark on the blockchain. And so people embedded in Twitter, now X, whatever, it will just automatically say, yes, this is an official message. No, it's not, whatever. I think it will end up having to be something like that. But I think this is the year where it becomes a big enough problem that then those solutions have to be put in place. Bad timing for that to happen because now you can really sway public perception. And so this gets, one of the reasons I want to have you back on, not only do I just absolutely, I haven't even looked at the clock and I know we're fucking deep in, just beyond fun. But when I think about having a perspective on some of these just like gruelingly difficult things, you've got such an interesting take on the different ways that these could go and probabilities and all that. But yeah, I think 2024 has a probability of being squirrely, and that people need to not allow themselves. This is me talking to my past self. For anybody wondering why I changed the show, I started changing my show about 4 years ago now. And it was because I realized I had been so heads down on an entrepreneurial journey that I didn't even understand the world at large. I only understood it in as much as I needed to build a business. And then when COVID hit, I was just like, whoa, This is not the world I thought I was living in. And so all of a sudden I was like, okay, my prediction engine is completely broken. And that means I've connected dots in an erroneous way. I now need to completely remap the territory. And that sent me down a journey of like, oh, I need to understand how the world works. What is the essence of the game? Who are the players? What are the pieces that are on the chessboard so that I can really understand this? And so as I look at 2024, make predictions, they will mostly be wrong, but they'll be directionally useful at a minimum. And so this is one of those things that I really think people need to load up into their working memory about what do they need to be aware of. How can AI be used as a tool in your business, as a tool in your life? How can it be used to manipulate you? How do you encounter a problem you've never seen before and think well through it so that you're not just primed by the person you're sitting across, and now they've trapped you in an answer and you're stuck and you're like, wait, how did I end? I don't even believe that. What just happened? Right. But you've said this a lot, and I really agree with this, that if you understand the tools and tactics, you're way less likely to be used by them. And so you can begin to escape that stuff. If you like that clip, check out another powerful clip right here, and I'll see you there.